Right now, two top chefs are going head-to-head in a Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs Showdown. It's the battle at Brown-Forman, where Volare's Josh Moore is facing off against Harold Baker from Gary's on Spring. Both have won showdowns before, but only one will come out victorious this time. Who can make the best food using wine and spirits? We're about to find out.
And two top bartenders will go at it in a competition of their own. They are showing down with bourbon and a whole lot more. I'm Kevin Harned with Tim Laird, and it's time to get this Secrets of Bluegrass Chef Showdown started.
All right, I'm Tim Laird, and welcome to a very special edition of Secrets of Bluegrass Chef Showdown. So it's going to be a great show and a great day to be here at Brown-Forman. With that, Kevin?
You know, Tim, we've got a great crowd here today. It's beautiful weather outside. Of course, we're using beautiful products to help make some great dishes. Joshua Moore, Harold Baker, the two chefs that will go at it. Here's how the showdown will go down. Now, we have two dishes that each chef will make. One sweet, one savory. They will be judged based on the criteria of this. 10 points going to taste, 5 for presentation, and 5 for creativity and originality using the brands here from Brown-Forman. So, with that said, the judges will then tabulate today's winner. The showdown judges are as follows. From 102.3 The Max, George Lindsay. Brown-Forman's very own from the legal department, Mary Barazzato. And the CEO from Business First and the chairperson for the Metro United Way campaign, Tom Monahan. Tim, it will be a tough job that the judges have as we get ready to start today's showdown.
I think it's time that we get the chefs cooking. Chefs, are you ready?
Ready.
Both sides?
Yes, sir. Ready.
All right, let's get cooking!
All right.
Josh Moore, the chef from Volare, is going straight to the bar, picking up some double-oaked Woodford Reserve, Tawaka Italian liqueur, and Corbel champagne.
I love Brown-Forman products.
These are all for cooking, right now?
I might sample.
I see you have some empty cups here. So
Yeah, the double oak, that's my favorite.
That's part of the fun of cooking, right? You can
Yes, sir.
sample,
Yes,
sip
sir.
a little bit along the way. So you've got a lot of things over here. Tell us about maybe what you're going to be doing.
Making a Tawaka bread pudding
Oh, nice.
and a Corbel champagne gelato to finish it.
Ooh.
Have cream and milk. Warming that up with the vanilla bean. In this pot, I have cornstarch and sugar. Bread pudding, I have farm fresh eggs and sugar.
That's another thing about Volare. You source local ingredients. Actually,
I do.
not only does he source local ingredients, he sources it from his own farm. Yeah, how about gang? A full-time chef and also on the farm?
Full-time farm for sure.
I don't know how you do that.
Actually, for our savory dish today, I'm doing a cream Swiss chard.
Okay.
I just cut the Swiss chard down from the garden this morning.
Wow.
Fresh.
That's fresh. So,
That is.
all right, I'm going to let you get
All
cooking
right,
over
sir.
there. I'm going to see what's going on over here in this corner. Harold Baker, how are you, buddy?
Tim Laird,
Gary's
pleasure.
on Spring.
Pleasure, sir.
I'll tell you what, looks like you've got a lot of pans going on up here.
A lot of pans going on here. I have a little bit of fusion. These are going to be, I'm going to use some liquid nitrogen today.
I saw this canister over here. Look at this. That's liquid nitrogen?
This is liquid nitrogen, and this is actually the first time this chef has used it. I've always wanted to, I've always wanted to play with it. Now's the time. So,
I notice how everybody in the tent is now leaving.
the idea was to do Kentucky raindrops. They're intense flavored reductions of different, this is actually, you could say, a blueberry. We have a mango. We have a lime. This is a mousse, and this strawberry one's a mousse. Then we have this one right here is a raspberry. So I'm thinking now, I knew in advance a little bit about some of these bottles here, and I'm using Fire Eater.
Oh.
So this one here has Fire Eater infused into it. I also, by looking at the selection, am going to use that Chambord. We're going to see how that's going to freeze up.
Interesting ingredients, a lot of different foods. I'll tell you what, I'm going to send it down to Kevin Harned to see what the judges are thinking right now.
This is a voice you'll recognize and now a face, George Lindsay from 102.3 The Max.
The voice is much more pleasant than the face. Just let me say that. It's radio after all.
People have said that about me, and I just moved forward anyway.
Kevin,
you know?
this is I'm so excited. Josh does such great stuff, and it's starting to come together. It looks really good. I'm scared to death of Harold.
You and me both, and you should see him with a knife in his hand.
He's got a thing of liquid nitrogen back there, and I just want to back away a little bit. But no, I'm excited to see what he does with this. So very excited. The savory, the sweet, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Mary Barazzato is here from the legal department at Brown-Forman. And Mary, I understand you're a foodie as well.
Just a bit.
Just a bit? Tell me what your favorite types of foods are.
Well, given my last name, Italian's always number one on the charts.
And what do you think about the presentation so far? I know we're just beginning.
Oh, all the dishes sound phenomenal. I'm looking forward to tasting them.
Looking forward to that. Thank you, Mary. We appreciate that. Tom Monahan is here as well, the chairperson for the United Way campaign this year, and also the president over at Business First. Nice to see you, Tom.
Oh, glad to be here. This is quite exciting. I'm really looking forward to it because I'm so used to strictly digesting my favorite Brown-Forman products in liquid form. It'll be nice to chew on some of them today.
Well said. Let's get back up to the action. And Tim, they're right, because as Tom pointed out, the chefs have to use the portfolio of Brown-Forman products behind you.
That's right, Kevin, absolutely.
Meanwhile, the cooking continues. Harold Baker from Gary's on Spring is busy working on a savory bison dish in which he plans to use Early Times Fire Eater, which is a cinnamon-infused whiskey made right here in Kentucky. And he's brought out the liquid nitrogen to make a dessert called Kentucky Raindrops, in which he'll also use the Fire Eater and Chambord raspberry liqueur. We'll keep an eye on that. On the other side, Chef Josh Moore from Volare is working on his bread pudding made with Tawaka, an Italian vanilla liqueur, and edible art. He also has some Herradura Silver Tequila on the table. We'll see what he does with that. Plus, Double Oak Woodford Reserve, which he's planning to use with a hearty plate of ribeye. In fact, they're 14 ounces with the bone-in called butter steaks. A lot more cooking and creativity is sure to come.
The Secrets of Bluegrass Chef Showdown continues with the battle at Brown-Forman. Coming up next, the chefs will plate up their masterpieces, and two top bartenders will go at it in a competition of their own. Stay with us. The Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs, the Showdown, the battle at Brown-Forman continues when we come back.
Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs is a presentation of Kentucky Proud, with support from the Kentucky Beef Council. In Kentucky, beef is still what's for dinner. PNC Bank, for the achiever in you.
Nicely done, beef. You might be the only meat with a knife named after you. A protein like no other. Beef, it's what's for dinner.
Welcome back to this special edition of Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs. I'm Kevin Harned on the campus of Brown-Forman, the corporate headquarters here in Louisville. You're watching this special edition where we pitted two top chefs, Harold Baker from Gary's on Spring with Joshua Moore from Volare. They're going at it, creating masterpiece dishes using the very own spirits that they make here at Brown-Forman. What do you say we get back to the action? Who's there? None other than our very own Tim Laird.
The cooking continues. Harold Baker's out at the grill cooking bison, and in here, Josh Moore, tell us what you got going on.
All right, I have our cream Swiss chard with fresh pears, truffalo, parmesan, and a touch of cream. This has our Herradura Silver for our Brown-Forman product.
Very nice.
And our sauce is going to go on our ribeye putter steaks. Jumbo shrimp, melted leeks.
Now, these are jumbo shrimp. I mean, look at the size of these. Oh, my God. These are like mini lobster tails. I've never seen shrimp this size.
I used Woodford double oaked in this.
Beautiful. That's why the shrimp are happy.
Yeah, they are.
The Woodford double oaked.
I'd be happy swimming in double oaked as well. That's good.
Good for the chef, good for the shrimp. And by the way, I always like to reveal this. I know you've been on the show many times. We love having you on there. But we can always prove that he's a 4-star chef. And for those of you that don't know, here's the proof is in the pudding. So, or the arm, as I should say. There it is. 4-star chef, everyone.
Tim Harold Baker from Gary's on Spring doesn't have the 4-star tattoo, but he's no slouch in this competition by any means. Right now, he's outside on the grill, working on his Kentucky-raised bison.
This bison here is, I put a little Monterey seasoning on it. We're going to grill it up mid-rare. We're going to serve it with our peach lobster fig, fire eater, cinnamon, demi-glace.
And back inside, Chef Josh is working on a risotto to go with his steaks. Tim?
Give us some secrets to a good risotto, Chef.
Good risotto, start with the best arborio, number one. I sweat onions, a little bit of butter. You want to just slightly toast the outside of your arborio. And then I start with white wine. I do a 3-to-1 chicken stock to white wine ratio on my risotto.
3-to-1.
And I always use a wooden spoon. It doesn't.
Who would have known the wooden spoon's a secret to risotto?
It doesn't tear up the rice kernels, and it helps bring the starch off the bottom of the pan.
Very good. And it doesn't give it that metallic taste.
Correct.
On the other side, Chef Harold from Gary's on Spring is working on some sides for his bison, collard greens, and succotash.
So succotash goes in first?
Succotash is going down. That's going to be our foundation, our center of our plate.
And you're right, very, very southern traditional foods happening with this.
And here come the slow-cooked collard greens.
All right, there it is. The greens are coming in.
The greens are coming into effect.
I love greens. Wow. Gosh, come on, gang, you got to smell this now, don't you, out there? Is this really? Woo!
Chef Josh from Volare is also plating up fast and furious, both his entree and his dessert.
We have tuaca bread pudding with a white chocolate cage, a Chambord bittersweet chocolate sauce. Going to finish it with Corbel champagne gelato, fresh berries, and then the blown sugar swan.
Wow. And now we're doing the entree. Interesting. Are these little pumpkins that you've
little roasted pumpkins. So when you eat it, you can actually taste the pumpkin as well. Filling this with our cream Swiss chard that I
looks delicious.
Cut down from the garden this morning. It has pancetta, cream, white truffle oil, Parmesan, and of course the Herradura. And our
risotto.
This is a asparagus and dill puree in the risotto.
That's a beautiful green color too.
Sonoma Cutrer.
I'll tell you what, that's one way to get the kids to eat the greens. Hide it in risotto. That'll work every time.
And then, right off the grill, those bone-in ribeye putter steaks.
And finally our shrimp.
Mm-hmm. Gonna top our risotto with a horseradish cream. A little bit of fresh horseradish on top. And some crispy beets.
Absolutely fabulous. Thank you, Chef Josh Moore. Thank you. Volare Restaurant.
Meanwhile, Chef Harold has put down his grilled bison strip steaks with that fig and peach demi-glace. Man, isn't it looking good? And now check this out. Now he's going for the liquid nitrogen to finish up his dessert.
Let's see what she does. Let's see how she acts. All right. That seems to be the trick.
There's the trick, see?
We're just going to go
Learn while you go.
We're going to go full bore. This is that Chambord.
Very good.
Strawberry. This is a strawberry mousse.
It looks like Harold's also adding peach puree into the liquid nitrogen. So this should not only be colorful, but flavorful.
Raindrops from Kentucky.
There they are. It is the raindrops. Look at that. Wow. Now, is Harold Baker's playing with nitrogen over here? Our other chef is over here playing with fire. Did you see this? He's got his blowtorch out going.
Making these are actually blown sugar, just like glass blowing.
Wow.
But with hot sugar. And then the leaves are pulled. It's making some little swans for the plate garnish, and they are edible.
So, like I said, this is. I mean, working with sugar, it's so delicate.
It is.
It's one of those things.
It's stressful.
Even down to the intricacy of like a. Oh.
Step 2 feet, 2 feet. Stay there.
These are delicate, aren't they? Harold, you owe me. Come on, baby.
I would have dealt with it. I didn't see anything.
Give me the cash. Give me the cash.
All kidding aside, Chef Harold is ready to give Josh a run for the money.
Coming up, the judges will dig in and chime in on today's showdown. They'll let us know how the chefs are doing, and they'll ultimately decide the winner of today's competition. Now stick around, because up next, a little later on, two top bartenders will go at a competition of their own.
Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs is a presentation of Kentucky Proud.
Nicely done, beef. You might be the only meat with a knife named after you. A protein like no other. Beef, it's what's for dinner.
Tim Laird back with you for more Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs Showdown. Two great chefs are cooking with a lot of heart and spirits. Now, the cooking's complete, so let's go to Kevin Harned to take a closer look.
Tim, the chefs have prepared two dishes each, one sweet and one savory. Harold Baker from Gary's on Spring has prepared a bison strip steak with slow-cooked collard greens and succotash. He's used Early Times Fire Eater in that dish, a cinnamon-infused whiskey. For dessert, he's made what he calls Kentucky Raindrops, a strawberry, peach, and raspberry flan in a spun sugar bird's nest, garnished with frozen Chambord liqueur and a variety of fruit purees. His competition, Josh Moore from Volare, is serving bone-in ribeyes with giant sautéed shrimp in double-oaked Woodford Reserve butter sauce. Add to that asparagus and dill risotto with horseradish cream, crispy beets, and a cream Swiss chard that came right out of Josh's garden this morning. For dessert, it's tuaca bread pudding wrapped in a white chocolate cage, which is filled with a champagne gelato. He's also decorated the plate with bittersweet chocolate and Chambord sauce, as well as his edible blown sugar swans. What do you say we find out how those dishes turned out? Let's go down to Tim Laird, who's with the judges.
All right, thanks, Kevin. I'm here with the judges' table, and I'll tell you what a table this is.
My goodness.
Starting out with George Lindsay from Max 102.3. I'll tell you what a feast.
This is so amazing. And I tell you what, if we can talk real quick, Gary's on Spring, Harold Baker's bison was unbelievable. He did a masterful job in grilling it, perfectly grilled, pink in the middle. I thought it was outstanding. And then you go over to Josh, and that putter steak chop thing. It's absolutely amazing. Again, a great job grilling it.
Well, thank you, George, for being part of our judges panel. Mary, what were your thoughts?
Everything was spectacular. I have true confession, though. I have never liked collard greens, and I have never liked Swiss chard, and both were phenomenal.
And Tom, what were your thoughts on these dishes as the chefs brought them out?
Man, it's like dying and going to culinary heaven. You know, and the presentation is so wonderful. You don't even want to eat them. They're like art pieces. The tastes were just tremendous. A lot of, you know, the mixing, that's what I'm always impressed with chefs is, I guess it's just trial and error, but to pick so many different things and to put them together and come up with these unique tastes. And the Brown-Forman products really made a difference.
Well, this is incredible. It's a big job. Soon we're going to be tabulating the entire scores and crowning our winner, both from the food standpoint and then coming up, our mixology.
Thanks, Tim. Up next, the judgment and a cocktail showdown between two of Louisville's top bartenders. Stay with us. There's much more to come on this special showdown edition of Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs from the campus of Brown-Forman.
Nicely done, beef. You know a protein-packed meal looks nothing like a shake. A protein like no other. Beef, it's what's for dinner.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs. This is a special Showdown edition here on the campus of Brown-Forman. We've seen sweet and savory dishes come from two of Louisville's top chefs, Harold Baker from Gary's on Spring and Joshua Moore from Volare. And now those dishes have been placed before the judges while they're tabulating their scores to ultimately decide who wins today's competition. Well, it's time for another competition. We like to call it the Battle of the Bartenders. What do you say we get that battle brewing with our very own Tim Laird?
This is going to be an exciting showdown using Brown-Forman products. Over here, Colin from St. Charles Exchange, and over here, Paul the Colonel from Decca. So, Paul, tell us about your cocktail you're going to make.
So it's going to be like a classic perfect Manhattan. We're also going to mix it up with a little Fresno chilies, so it's going to have that spice on it. We're going to be using a healthy 2 ounces of Woodford for each of these. And then I'm using a ½ ounce of the Sonoma Couture.
Interesting combination.
For each cocktail.
Okay.
So we're using 1 ounce total. And I've got 1 ounce of our sweet vermouth. We're going to use a little bit less than 1 ounce of that SoCo pepper, just because we've already got some other sweet flavor profiles working in there.
And some heat in there coming
Well,
up.
here comes the heat.
Here it comes.
And we already de-seeded these, so you don't need to worry about getting blown away. But you do want to make sure you get all the seeds, because if not, it's going to be a lot hotter cocktail for some.
Good secret at home. Take the membrane and seeds out of that pepper.
But we'll just give it a dense little toss so that it can play nicely with the other ingredients. And we're just going to use fresh ice because, once again, I want to get those peppers out of there.
There it is. Excellent. I'll tell you what.
That's going to be amazing. But now it's Colin Shern's turn. He's the bar manager at St. Charles Exchange, and he's hoping to go one better.
Tell me about your cocktail, Colin.
Yeah, I'm going to do the Old Forester, the signature bourbon as the base of it. Then I'm going to add a little bit of a sweet vermouth as well, slightly bittered one. A touch of an elderflower liqueur, kind of some nice floral notes. Sure. Because you already got quite a bit of ballast, I would say, a lot of low notes with the bourbon and the vermouth. And then I'm going to do some potable bitters. So it's an Amaro. It's a bitter liqueur from southern Italy. And a little bit of orange cream citrate bitters.
Okay.
Which are going to be not only citrusy flavors and vanilla, which is obviously going to go well with the Old Forester, but also a little bit of citrate, so it's a little bit more round in the mouthfeel.
After carefully measuring and adding the vermouth with his variety of exotic bitters, a little ice, and a stir, this cocktail is ready for the judges.
There it is. Fantastic job, Colin. St. Charles Exchange.
Well, Tim, those are some pretty good-looking cocktails. As a matter of fact, I think one of those would quench my thirst. But let's see what the judges think.
The Divine Lorraine from St. Charles Exchange is a lot like St. Charles Exchange if you've ever been there. It's very refined, and yet it has so much substance to it. This may be my favorite new cocktail, I got to tell you.
Decca's version of the Manhattan was very unique. I was surprised to see him put the Sonoma Couture Chardonnay in it, but it really smoothed it out.
It was very smooth going down, but has a little heat there in the end, kind of warms your innards. It would be, if you were a football gamer and had a flask of this, you'd be in great shape.
All right. The results are in. And I tell you what, it came down to 1 point on our mixology showdown. And the winner is Colin from St. Charles Exchange.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Colin. And thank you, Paul. And now, the results of our cooking competition between two previous champions came head-to-head today, and the winner is Josh Moore. Congratulations. Harold always still a champion chef. Harold Baker. Gary's on Spring. Josh Moore from Volare. Two champions came together today, and that'll do it for our special edition of Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs Showdown right here at Brown-Forman, and we'll see you next time.